when I realized that me and my ex-girlfriend became incompatible, I had to make a decision, right? And I didn't make it because I was scared of two things. The first one was I was afraid of being alone again. I was afraid of going back to just being by myself because you see, I spent 4 years with somebody. I had a best friend. I had somebody that cared about me. And for my whole life before that, I was alone. So that was definitely not where I was trying to go back, right? I was definitely scared of that. Now, the second fear that I had was I didn't want to hurt her. I was actually scared of, you know, upsetting her, like actually like hurting the girl that I loved, right? So, and even though I knew that it wasn't really gonna work out, I didn't take the decision because I was like, I don't want these two things to happen. Now, it came a point where I had no other choices but to actually take action, right? So, I remember telling her to I needed to tell her something, right? And at the time she was on vacation, so I told her I need to tell you something, and she was like, "What do you have to tell me?" I'm like, "I gotta tell you in real life because I was not gonna do that by text, right? 4 years, I still have respect. So I told her like I have to tell you in real life. She's like, just tell me, and I'm like, no, I can't tell you. And so I waited, and then finally she came back, and I told her to come meet me at this park that we would often go to, and it looks a lot like this park actually, right? And I told her, hey, come, I've won, and let's just see each other, and I'll tell you what I have to tell you. And usually when we go out, I'll pick her up, or she'll come and she'll take her car and she'll pick me up or whatever. We'd go together, obviously, right? But that day, like, I told her, just come because I didn't want to deal with that uncomfortable situation of, the ride back, her crying or her tripping. I just didn't want to deal with the awkward ride back after I just told the girl I was with for 4 years that I'm not going to be with her, right? So I'm here at 1. I'm always in time, right? Me, I'm always on time. And she's always on time too. So but that day she's late. Like she's late, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, just come. I want to get this over with, right? I'm stressing. I'm stressing because, it's not easy. It's not easy to look somebody in the eyes and tell them like, yo, like, it's not gonna work out. So I'm waiting for her, and then she finally comes, right? And usually when she comes back from a trip, obviously we hug, we kiss. But that day we didn't do it. She just sat on a bench like this next to me. I just sat there and I started looking in front of me. And I started to think, like, is this the right decision? Like, are you really gonna do this? If you do this, there's no going back. Uh, you're sure you want to do this? Like, she might be the one. Did you try everything? Maybe you can fix this. If you do this, like, remember, like, if you tell her this, it's over. And I started thinking all these things. I was like, well, what if I try to fix things? What if I just don't say what I want to say right now, and I wait another 6 months, or I give herself another year? What if it could work? And then she just hits me with the, so just tell me what you had to say. And then, I just take a deep breath and I just say, like, in one go, I think it's better if we stop talking. I say it super fast. I say, like, I think it's better if we stop talking. And now it's like there's like a wind that just goes by, like a relief also in myself. I'm like, oh shit, I did it. Like, there's no going back now, right? And I'm like, damn, she's gonna start crying. She's gonna start tripping. She's gonna start overreacting, right? She's gonna start, and then she just says like, "You felt like this for a long time. You should have told me when the first time you felt like this." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "You should have told me as soon as you felt like this. You didn't want to tell me before." And I was like, "What?" And then I started like to kind of explain myself, but then I just came to a realization that she actually already knew and she actually already grieved for a long time, right? Because while I was trying to delay the thing, I was just acting like a dickhead. Like, it was obvious. I can't fake my shit. So when you're emotionally detached and you already want to make that decision, like, she knew. Like, she's not stupid. So she knew exactly what I was going to tell her. She knew exactly how it was going to end. She already had grief. She already had talked about it with her cousin. She like she already knew, and she was really hurt by the fact that I didn't tell her before. I didn't tell her as soon as I felt like it. And I was like, well, I was just trying to protect us. I was just trying to help us. She was like, no, you should have told me. And then I realized, bro, that's when I realized something. by trying to delay it, I actually hurt her more than if I would have just broken up with her as soon as I felt like it, right? And that hit me hard. I was like, by being a pussy, the thing I was trying to avoid, I ended up making it worse. And the worst part too is that I was trying to avoid the loneliness, but it was unavoidable. I was gonna be lonely either whether I would have broken up with her like today or in 6 years or at the time I broke up with her. The loneliness that I had to go through was unavoidable for me to become who I am. It was something like written for me. I needed to go through a period of being alone for me to grow to become who I am today, right? And whether I would have dealt with it like as soon as I felt like it, or whether I would have dealt with it in 6 years, it was gonna happen, and just me delaying it was just gonna delay the unavoidable. And, after that, I just talked about her. I just talked with her a little bit. We talked a little, and then I stood up and I left, right? Because there was nothing left to say. And I left, and I remember driving to my car and just like taking one last glance at her. She was still sitting on the bench, and I was just like, yeah, man, like I'll probably never see her again. And I actually never seen her again. And it's been exactly 2 years since that day happened, right? Like it was August 12th, 2023, right? And I'm not just telling you this to tell you this. I'm telling you this because, bro, as a man, if you have something in your heart that you know you need to do, if you have a tough decision that is really tough, right? It's like something you don't want to do, but you know you need to do it, do that, take that decision, right? You need to go all in on your business. You need to drop out of school. You need to leave your job, switch careers, leave your wife, do something that scares you, but you know deep down in your heart that's the only right decision you have to make right now, and you're trying to delay it, and you're trying to say, oh well, maybe there's another solution, maybe there's this, but deep down, you know you're just trying to avoid the pain, and you know that this is what you got to do, and you're just not doing it because you're trying to avoid what scares you, the pain, right? The pain of going all in, right? It was like it was fucking scary because I was going back in the wild. I'm never gonna see her again. I'm never gonna talk to her again. And she was basically everything. But I had to take that decision. It was scary as fuck. I didn't want to do it. And if when you like, and that's what I'm telling you, bro. When you have a tough decision to make in your life, that's really tough. Something that it scares you. Like you have to do something big, right? Like that's gonna completely change your life. Like changing careers, something big, bro. Right? I'm not talking about no small decision. I'm talking about a big decision. As soon as you have that impulse of maybe I really should do it, just do it. I promise you, and then deal with the consequences because you won't be able to avoid the pain. It's like your faith. Whether you do it right now or in 2 years or you just keep delaying it, you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with the consequences. And maybe the thing that you're avoiding is actually what's gonna turn you into who you want to become. Maybe the things that you're avoiding is what's gonna change the whole course of your life. This decision that I made exactly 2 years ago is exactly what put me to where I am today. Because after that, I went to like a full year of loneliness. I went to a full year of like just being alone, depressive, and all that. And then that led me to become who I am today. Because the more you go through, the more you overcome, the stronger you become. When you're just drowning in comfort, you can't become anything. So that's what I'm telling you. When you have a big thing to do, a big decision to make, because everybody got these type of decisions to make. Like you always have something that you know you should do. Like you're scared of doing it. There's a risk. You got to invest. You got to buy something super expensive for your business. You got to quit your job for your business. You got to go all in on your dreams. You got to leave that girl that you should have left long time ago. Just fucking do it today. Take that decision today, and just deal with the consequences. See where life brings you. It's not gonna be that bad. You're not gonna die. You're gonna come back, you're gonna be stronger, you're gonna have learned, and then you're just gonna be able to push forward and said, at least I wasn't a bitch about it, right? And yeah, that's all I wanted to say, brother. Fuck, man. You know what I always wonder, bro, is like if she's doing good. I hope she's doing good, dude.
Putain si tu savais, putain si t'avais vu. Let's go. Putain si tu savais, Putain si t'avais vu, putain si tu savais, ma belle c'est toi qui m'as sauvé. La rue comme souvenir, en grec de 7-up. Mon cœur qui s'envenime, ma belle y'a trop de souvenirs. Personne nous a tendu la perche, aujourd'hui ça roule en Porsche. Que tes frères regardent la pêche, j'avais zéro dans les poches. C'est bien moi ton seul apache, c'est moi qui te fais l'amour sous piche. De pacha nous repêchable, j'ai pris du temps pour la pécho. Tu racontes que tu l'aimes, mais c'est toi qui lui fais du mal. M'appelle pas mi amor, on s'était dit à la muerte. Y'a pas de nanani nanana, ce soir m'appelle, dis non non non. C'est mort ma gueule. Ce soir m'appelle, dis non non non. Tu racontes que tu l'aimes, mais c'est toi qui lui fais du mal. M'appelle pas mi amor, on s'était dit à la muerte. Y'a pas de nanani nanana, ce soir m'appelle, dis non non non. Ce soir m'appelle, dis non non non. Ce soir m'appelle, dis non non non. À la muerte, ce soir m'appelle, dis non non non.